Welcome to Tavern Talk, a full spoiler show based on the epic fantasy series of Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and joining me is Brother Dan, actor extraordinaire Jansen Lashley Haynes, Beth Doman from I Do Be Beth Doman, and Felt Tom from Dragon Mount. We have an amazing show for you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us live. And if you haven't catch us live, if you're watching us on replay, don't worry about it. If you have any comments, just leave them in the comment section. We will respond to all the comments. We want to hear your opinion. But today we have an amazing show. We are going to talk about our 3 Tavern boys and the societies that are surrounding them. So each of our Tavern have a unique storyline, and they happen to kind of garner a following, some big, some small. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. We're going to compare and contrast, and I'm super excited to do this. Jansen, what a great topic idea. This is Jansen's idea. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start Tavern Talk.
Yes.
Let's go. Real fast, Ryan. Beforehand, I thought of something for Beth. We can call her the Witch Queen of the Twitch stream.
Ooh.
I guess the Witch Queen is better than the Bitch Queen?
No, come on.
I'm a Tarvalon Witch Queen. The Tarvalon Witch Queen.
I imagine there's some sort of like etymology, like witch and bitch probably like are similar.
And you're right.
Like maybe all Karens were just witches that were being like thrown in the rivers back in the day.
Whoa, settle down, buddy.
So
witches like that.
So Kay is saying that she can't hear us.
Really?
Well, let's see. Anyone else having a hard time hearing us?
I hear you guys fine. I hear me fine.
Also, while we're talking about it, everyone jump into Discord. We are live backstage in Discord. And if you want to see the meat and the sausage being made, that's where it happens. Hey guys, before we get on our amazing topic, there was an amazing announcement this week. We have a casting leak that was confirmed by WOT Series, and I want to talk about it for a second. Absolutely, Lanfear is going to be on season 2, and she will be played by Natasha OKeefe. And I want to get your thoughts. Let's break it down a little bit. First off, amazing that Lanfear is coming in season 2. I don't know how you guys feel about her. She's one of my favorite characters.
Look how great this headshot is. It's like this kind of side messy ponytail. She doesn't give a fuck. She's just like, yeah, take my picture in black and white. I don't care. I'm off to live my life.
She's got amazing lips.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like the formation of her mouth is unique and amazing. Super defined top lip. Anyway, what are you gonna say, Tom? I'm sure there's way more edifying than what I did.
I was gonna say, like, she's a great actor. Like, one of my favorite shows in the recent couple of years has been Peaky Blinders, and she's been in it since she was in like a couple episodes in season 1, I think. Yeah. And then like a smattering throughout, but she's been in a bunch in the last 2 or 3 seasons.
All right, so she was she the person who went to America? Who was Thomas Shelby's like?
Hey, no spoilers! I haven't seen it. No spoilers.
Okay. Oh yeah, like no spoilers. Yeah. She plays a character called Lizzie.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. I didn't recognize her as such. I like that character a lot. I like her a lot now.
She's very good. She's awesome. I think she's going to play the part very, very well.
Yeah.
Jansen, have you ever acted with any of these people that are on this show so far? Never. It's a white field.
And I'm not surprised because a lot of them are young. We have a very young cast.
A lot of them are young. A lot of them are British. But I have not worked with any of them. I suspect that's probably going to change soon, especially now that they are all starting to come over here and do more American films. Like just like seeing Yosha in Gran Turismo. You know, he's the pretty much like the bad guy of the episode of the film. So, and watching him in that and understanding what casting directors do gave me a different spin on Rand. Actually, Rand's going to be a very dark character in this. I think he's going to be very dark.
So you think he's going to be less angsty and more dark?
Oh yeah, I think he's going to be very dark.
Yeah. As dark,
Natasha OKeefe is going to play this role very darkly as well.
Well, are we all in agreement that in the sizzle reel we saw an image of a bloody hand? Are we all in agreement that we think that is Lanfear being brought out from the board? Okay.
It's at least it's Forsaken. It's got to be Lanfear, but I mean, like, they could be messing with us and make it somebody else.
Yeah, I think they're messing with us the whole thing. I think they're completely messing with us about everything. Even I don't think anything we've seen is going to be what we think it is, and I actually like that because it gives me something new about the Wheel of Time.
By the way, guys, we have Andro here. We have MrHowley's here. Murns is here. We got Oliver's ears. We got the band's back together. We're getting the group back together.
I know. We got a little group in Discord. I wish our European friends would have better lighting, but we'll talk about that after. No, I'm happy to hear that you guys know her work. She was in Sherlock Holmes also.
Yep. Well, Sherlock.
Oh, yes, she was.
She was in one episode, I think. Yeah, one episode of Sherlock. She played. It was a Christmas special, and she played like the Black Widow bride that murdered the husband or whatever, something like that. I remember the end of the episode. I'll see if I can find a picture. It's like a whacked out, crazy looking like face with like a gun aiming at the camera. I'll see if I can find a picture.
I was not surprised at all that she got cast at all or that she was Lanfear, because for about 42 seconds right after her casting, if you went to her Wikipedia page, she was listed as Celine on the Wheel of Time, and it was taken down almost immediely. But people were like, "This is Elida. This is Elida." I'm like, "Nope, dude.
No, she's Celine. Yeah,
totally going to be Lanfear." And so when they finally announced it, and I don't know why, I feel like I'm the only person who ever saw that, because I've asked a million people. Like, do you remember this? Did you guys see this?
I wish you recorded it.
I should have taken a freaking screenshot of it or something. I didn't think. I mean, of course, back then I didn't. Who would have thunk, right?
So, Beth, do you think this suggests then that our Forsaken are not going to use disguises?
Well, I think for Celine, people who don't read the books don't know who they are, who Celine is. So
I don't know if they're going to like make her look younger, or anything like that. But I think that they're going to definitely do something disguise-wise, definitely. And I don't even think that. I think that what's going to happen is at the very end, the last episode, you're just going to think that she's a random person. You're never going to see her talking to Ishamael this entire season. And then at the end, she's going to show up. And to Min, if they use that thing that happens in Falma, she's like, "I'm Lanfear girl." And take care of him. I think that's how you're going to find out she's who Lanfear is. Does that make sense? Like I think for the average show watcher, not a book reader, it's going to be something we've been doing on the show that they did not do in the book is, in the book they played up the Forsaken. You heard like snippets about them and how, so you got to kind of know them a little bit before we even found them. Before we even saw Agenor and Bothamel at the end of the Eye of the World, we had already known a little bit about the Forsaken, and they kind of did that a little bit in the one episode about the Warders. They did that a little bit, but they didn't do a lot of it. They haven't given us the thoughts of, oh my God, that's something to be scared of. Like they've grazed it.
Right. It's not steeped in.
Yeah.
They haven't really gotten into the the lore, the backstory of how dangerous they really are. I see that being like a cold opens, you know, like. Anyway, I keep hearing Discord chimes in my ears.
That's me, and I can't stop it.
If you go into the
you can
settings
deafen
on
Discord. You can deafen Discord.
You could also just turn on streamer mode, and it'll mute all the things that need to be muted for a streamer.
Okay, I'll look at that thing.
In the settings, there's a thing called streamer mode. Just turn it on.
It's fine. I just hear it. I keep looking at my own Discord, thinking, "What the hell is happening?"
Me too. I was like, "Did I do that?" For the most part in book one, the Forsakener talked about like they're the boogeymen, like, you know, they're used to scare children. We didn't get a lot of details about them early on, but they do mention them a lot, and they use their names, and or at least some of them to you know, as ways to, like, you know, oh, you know, we heard stories about Lanfear and blah 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 blah.
They're scared little boys when they were in their beds. And
Yeah. My mom used to see, or I think Matt told a story about like his mother trying to scare him with Lanfear's name or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She'll fuck your brains out.
Yeah. But
Watch out.
The other thing that I wanted to point out about the bloody hand and the boy and all that stuff is, I really am leaning really hard toward my theory that I had like a while back about the Eye of the World being one of 7 locations around Sheol. Yeah. And really what confirmed it for me was when Michael Livingston his book came out. Like, that was literally one of the early ideas that Robert Jordan had for the seals. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's
when I read that or listened to it, because I listened to the audiobook of Michael Livingston's book.
Who read it?
I was like, fuck yes, book cloaks, fuck you. Because they are staying freaking true to the essence of Robert Jordan. They're using his ideas, his early concepts, to bring the show to life. So fuck you, book cloaks. Neener.
Who read the
How
that
do you
book?
spell Neener?
It's like wiener, but with an N.
Okay.
No, 3 E's.
Okay.
3 E's.
It's Neener. Neener.
Okay.
It's
That's
not
how you
wiener.
spell
It's
wiener, but-
Neener. Sorry, okay, I'm done. I dare somebody to turn that into a GIF. Tom's on it. Watch.
I will.
Tom's like, give me 2 minutes. Click.
As soon as this episode is over, download, cut. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I like her. I mean, like, I won't be 100% convinced that she is playing Lanfear until Amazon announces it, but if, 80% sure.
Yeah.
Has WOT series been wrong?
I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the leaks that much, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
Leaks are usually right. Because
they
if
could also be feeding them the leaks. We don't know.
If they're wrong too much, no one's going to believe anybody. Like, usually they're right.
Yeah. The one thing that is gaining traction, because Natasha OKeefe has been announced as Lanfear, is Shohreh Aghdashloo being cast as Elida, which I am not on board with.
I heard that too, and they released that one picture where she was in like a red dress or something.
I'm just not there. I
don't like that either. I hope not.
I don't either. I need her to be Cad Swain. I just need her to be Cad Swain. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get off topic.
No, I'm fine with this topic. Actually, can you explain more? Because we have.
So there's just a lot of talk on Twitter of time, and Critter XD on her TikTok channel has done some hypothesizing that now that Natasha OKeefe has not been announced as cast as Elida, that it is entirely possible that Shohreh might have been cast as Elida that right there. I'm not on board with that.
I know why.
I can see it.
Why he would be cast as Elida. You know why?
She looks amazing.
She looks badass.
Very formidable. As
I'm telling you know why? Because Elida gets more FaceTime. She's an actress, and she's going to be she's a lead, and Elida gets more lead time in the book than Catwoman would.
Oh, good point.
Well, what if they were to? But they could
combine them.
What if they merged Catwoman and Elida?
That's what I was thinking too.
I could see that, but I'm telling you, like, if they cast her, they're casting her as a lead. She's not.
I agree.
She's not going to be just a cameo actress.
Right. I mean, she's going to be amazing, whatever role she plays. She's going to bring it to life, no matter what she does. But because she was so heavily embraced by the fandom as Cadsuane when all of that stuff was going around, she has become my headcanon for Cadsuane now. So if it doesn't happen, I'm fine with it, because the fact that she is just... I've been a fan of hers for years, from multiple genres. I've talked about her before. She is a prolific voice actor in video games and animation. Oh my God. She also does, she was also in The Expanse, which is one of the absolute best sci-fi series ever published for the small screen. And she is going to be one of the main characters in the next Assassin's Creed game that's coming out later this year. So I am all in for her in no matter what she plays. She could play like a tavern wench and I'd be happy because it's Shohreh Aghdashloo. So,
you're not
like, anyway,
yeah, I think I have someone else I'd like to see, that I think could play Catwoman, that I could see them casting as Catwoman other than her. And that's Kate Mulgrew.
Oh my God, I would die. I would literally die if Kate Mulgrew got on this show.
I think she's perfect for Catwoman. Everything about her is perfect for Catwoman. That's like she's typecast for Catwoman.
Oh my God, I would have an aneurysm right here on the floor.
That's Red from Orange is the New Black.
No, Kate Mulgrew is Captain Janeway from Star Trek, and she's the voice of.
Right. Okay.
She also does the voice of one of the gods in Dragon Age franchise. She is amazing.
Utterly fantastic.
I would die. I would be on the floor. You guys would have to find someone else to take my place because
she's one of the original Stella Adler.
She was Red, by the way, in Orange is the New Black.
She was.
Is there a better tweet than these? By the way,
no, there's not in the fandom. No,
the fans say we need to talk. Girl, I'm in.
Yes, I remember when this happened, and I literally almost had a heart attack.
There was poo on the floor.
Wow.
All right, is this Kate Mulgrew?
No, that's Shohreh Aghdashloo.
No. Wait, what are we looking at?
Yes, that's Kate Mulgrew. Did you ever watch Star Trek Voyager?
Yeah.
No.
Did you ever?
No.
Did you ever play Dragon Age?
No,
yes.
I'm telling you, she's as good as it gets.
Yeah, she's great. She's a great actor.
As good as it gets, man.
I could see her as a Catwoman.
Absolutely.
Okay, so wait. So you played Dragon Age?
Yes.
Do you remember Flemeth from Dragon Age? She was the ageless witch who was.
Is Flemish?
Flemeth in Dragon Age. If you go back, so I won't.
The dragon.
Flemeth was the ageless witch that stole the souls of the young women, and Morrigan joins your party, and she was her mother. Flemeth was her mother in the game. And if you played Dragon Age, the original one, you met her. But then when you play Dragon Age Inquisition, you actually find out that she's an elven goddess. And Kate Mulgrew voices her. And it was like, my mind was blown. That is not a good picture. That's 2010. That's 2010. That's the first game. It's not a good picture. Anyway.
The witch queen of the Twitch stream. That's That's what I'm saying. I don't remember.
That's much better. That is Plymouth. That is a much better picture of Plymouth. That's 2015.
I don't remember any characters of anything. I played Dragon Souls, and the only thing I remember is there was like a ceaseless ooze.
I mean, it's not my fault.
I'm dumb. No.
It's
you are.
Well, I'm also like a video gamer, so yeah, like that's how I roll.
Yeah.
All right, back on topic. Kate Mulgrew would be amazing, but we're not here to talk about Kate Mulgrew.
Amazing. Well, thank you for that. I just wanted to get everyone's reactions to the news about Lanfear. I'm stoked at this conversation. Obviously, went off rails, but let's get into the main topic that we want to discuss.
I got to put my hair back for this.
Here. Jansen,
back.
Who do we want to start with first? Which of our little Tavern little boys or little baby boys who grow up to be man boys?
Well, I obviously think we should leave Rand for last. Him being the strongest Tavern out of the three.
Well, let's preface this whole thing. You brought it up that when you look at the Tavern, not only you can see their pull in the societies that they gather around them, and when we looked at them, all three of the Tavern boys have very distinct groups that have gravitated towards each of them, and so that's what we're going to be talking about, I guess.
Yes, and I think I'd like to start with Matt Trimcoffin. The Band of the Red Hand, and we'll talk about him and like their crazy band that they have together, and we'll start with their infrastructure, which is pretty much Matt's luck. So they don't have it too hard when it comes to money or things they have to buy, but the book states that a certain, and I think this was one of, I know they did it more than once, but I think it was from Fael's perspective in A Memory of Light when she talked about the type of men that gravitated to the Band of the Red Hand. And they were men like Matt who liked to, relax, didn't want to do too much manual labor, but she also said that they were the kind of men that would fight, like each one would fight like 10 men in a pitch. Great men to have around, handy men to have around. And they all gravitate towards Matt's, band. And, there was like some other small things that, is within the culture of these men that hang around with Matt that are in the band. Most of them have a vibe of not liking the One Power that much. A lot of them are Tyrants, first of all, which, in the power is outlawed. And Aes Sedai are watched heavily and with a lot of scrutiny and a lot of suspicion. And so a lot of members in the band already have that heavy suspicion of the One Power, like Matt does. And with Matt having it, that's just broadcast all over, them. So they don't want to rely too much on the White Tower or the Black Tower. They're and to quote Matt to Elaine when he made the deal with her, they want to be their own men.
He also like attracts guys that are like they need or are looking for or would benefit from a second chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are these roguish characters that respond really well to discipline. They have really neat ranks. They don't break commands. If Tomanis or Matt just says, we got to go, we're leaving in an hour. And these cats are like, you got it, boss. Boom, boom, boom. Pack.
I think you know what? Oh, go ahead, Beth.
No, I was going to say, I think Matt represents every man's man. Because when you look at him, he had some. What the hell is that top hat? No, this picture does absolutely nothing for me. No,
it's not Flash.
All right,
it's Kenny G. Coffin.
Combination of Kenny G, tuxedo mask, and
a pilgrim.
Weird tentacle.
That kind of looks like the bad guy from Silence of the Lambs.
Is he tucking? He's tucking. Hey, no. Throughout the conversation, I'm going to put up. These are AI. These are AI generated images.
Buffalo Bill.
That is literally. Oh my God! What was the name of the person who played Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
It's Hugh Jackman wearing tuxedo masks, top hat from Sailor Moon in some weird cosplay of some Napoleonic general with a tentacle porn tentacle from hentai from Japan. That's what that is. That's like an amalgamation.
Wait, go back. Hold on, Ryan. Go back real fast. Go back real fast. What's in the background? Is that a horse?
A girl on a beach.
No,
it's a girl on a beach about to be run over by the shark.
Okay.
The prompt for this image was Matrim Cawthon from the Wheel of Time, surrounded by dirty soldiers holding a spear. And that's
that is literally.
And then we got this one too.
All right. This one's good.
AI never gets hands right. AI never gets hands right. Look at that.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Can I go back to my very deep intellectual conversation?
Yeah, keep talking. Keep on. We're just gonna pop these out.
This image in front of me. I cannot, when I am looking at Napoleon Cawthonaport.
Top Bonaparte. Yeah, he was a top. This guy is a top for sure.
Oh Lord. Okay. Anyway, so I was just
now. So literally the guy that didn't get the Galad audition.
right. Yeah.
Oh man.
He is every man's man and every person's person. Because if you think he hated Aes Sedai, well, he didn't hate Aes Sedai. He hated the One Power. He was very distrustful of the One Power. But what happens? Who ends up coming back to Mat Cawthon to fight with Mat Cawthon in A Memory of Light?
All of them.
Fucking Teslin.
Teslin Baradar.
Red Aja comes who was against Egwene, who was a loyalist to Elida, gets back up to the White Tower, realizes that she doesn't like the changes that came, so she broke her own allegiances to the White Tower and joined Matrim Bloody Cawthon. He is literally the epitome of every man's man. He gained everybody from all nationalities, different walks of life, different beliefs. And if you remember in The Dragon Reborn, after he gets healed and he's still in Tarvalon, he goes to and the Amerlin, Siuan Sanche, goes and visits him in his quarters, and she says, "You remind me of my uncle." And he's always trying to be like life is fine, everything's fine. Exactly. And she's like, you want to know what happened to my uncle? He died in a fire, going in and rescuing people. Yep. She's like, that's you. And to a T, that is who Mat Cawthon is. He's an unreluctant hero who's unreluctantly charismatic and attracts this. Oh my God. Is that his dildo that he's carrying around everywhere? Because that's what it's reminding me of. It's like, this is my sword. Dildo. Let me sheath this spear.
And his golden.
Sorry, this just totally went NC-17. I apologize.
Well, so no, it's all right. But Beth, to your point, let me ask you, Tom, can you think of anyone who traveled to more countries in a shorter amount of time? I guess besides Rand, but I kind of even think that Matt went to more places. Like, I can't think of many where he didn't go.
Well, I mean, a lot of the Pat and Fane is one, but a lot of the characters travel across the entire continent several times. The great generals do. I mean, Nynaeve drops Lan off on one coast, and then he has to ride to Tarwin's Gap, which is on the other side of the continent. So, he's riding through 7-8 countries.
talks about being everywhere and goes everywhere. VEREN's been a lot of places.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters that have traveled. I would say more than Matt. Matt is very well traveled, especially for like a farmer from the Two Rivers. But like even for the Tavern, Perrin doesn't get around that much. I think Rand probably is more traveled than him, but Morane's traveled.
Well,
Moraine, she goes everywhere.
Oh, I mean, Rand is the only person from the Westlands who has a round trip in less than 24 hours to Seanchan and back.
Yeah.
Besides Aviendha. Yeah. I mean,
but when we're taling about societies, and I know that Rand bounces around all over the place and brings maidens with him and such. Matt's always, to me, Matt is always on the move, and so that's what the band represents. He doesn't. Yeah. I would also say that I would call Tom and Julian part of Matt's group in my head.
They kind of trade back and forth, but I think they're more naive and more Elaine specifically. But
yeah, especially Tom. But when you look at Matt, the thing is that, like, you know, they said that the Dragon Reborn would make and break nations, right? And in essence, that's not exactly what was said, but in a nutshell. And it's really Matt who made nations. Matt drew people from all nations.
I think
to
Matt. Yeah, Matt definitely had the biggest melting pot. Matt had a huge.
He also took the heaviest losses. When you think about it, he took the heaviest losses, because his group was the most in your face. Like, think about when they encountered the Golem in Abu Dar, and he lost Nilesian, and
as far as
Moghedien in Abu Dar trying to balefire Nynaeve. Two of Matt's soldiers get balefired. He's just and then he actually inherits the Seanchan armies. Like, he literally is every man's man, and I'm gonna die on that hill. And
he is. He's definitely every man's man. And he does something else. I mean, what I love about the writing from Matt is you found out way more about Matt from other people than from him himself. About how they
did there, Noman Garden.
You know, Chuan's POVs were really great with learning about how Matt, the type of person Matt was. And, you know, there was one POV with her talking about that the type of men that she thought would follow Matt were, you know, lazy or drunkards, and they weren't. They were, you know, men who were extremely loyal, and, you know, his, you know, and let's dive into his, like, you know, his world, Matt's world. You know, he had a right-hand man, like, who was Telmanis, you know, and he had, I guess you could call him a court of guys that he referred to that were under Telmanis, like, you know, Nilesian, who passed away, obviously he died, and then Darren and Estion and what are the
other? Oh my God, what was the name? Chelvannon. Yeah.
You know, in fact, Chelvannon, I thought, and I hope that he makes it into the show, because he is going to be an excellent point of comic relief. I hope that he's in, because I like reading about him. Every part that Chelvannon's in the books makes me like laugh. I love the part.
Yeah, but I mean, it's because he's fat, and everyone doesn't think that he's quiet, but he's the best spy. I mean, it's a lot of body issue stuff.
I want to point out something that Lee Science said, because they're 100% correct. So Perrin is definitely arguably, like, he actually makes a nation, like, where there wasn't one, like actually does it. And also just the count, like the people in mythology that they're pulled from. Matt is kind of Loki and a little bit of Odin, and
but that's not to say that he's not. I'm not saying that he created kingdoms. That's definitely Perrin is different than that.
Yeah.
But Matt is relatable to multiple people. People went to Perrin because Perrin was, they were grateful to Perrin.
Yeah,
they were grateful for his, and Perrin is a normal guy, but Matt is and I can totally see Loki in Matt. 100% can see that.
Perrin's role is literally the builder. Like that's his role.
For sure. Absolutely. 100% agree. 100%. Yeah.
So he he is literally the person that's supposed to like be the one that kind of cleans up after the last battle, and is going to be the one that kind of is like, found, like he's probably going to have to sit on a throne somewhere, whether it's in Saldea or
but that's all Fael shit. Like I would argue that Fael used him to build the nation. He was a reluctant leader at best. He's more reluctant leader than Matt.
They're all reluctant leaders. Even Fael is.
Yeah.
But
what?
No.
Fael. What?
Oh yeah,
Fael wanted her own glory. She wanted personal glory. She didn't
literally run away from her home country and change her name. Like she didn't do that or anything.
She didn't change her name. She told Perrin straight out what her name was. She said, "My name is Zareen Bashir, farm boy."
She changed her name to the people, to everyone else, though. Like she changed her name. Like she didn't tell anyone else.
No,
that's a good point. Jansen, what did you just say? I missed that. Say it again.
Fael might be the most realistic character in all of VLOOKUP.
I love Fael.
I love Fael too. I love her. Also, the slog is not real.
If Perrin were a real man in real life, if Perrin were a real man in real life today, what kind of woman would attract or attach herself to Perrin?
Somebody with a hedgehog.
I'm sure a lot of people. I don't know.
Like
give me some wide shoulders. I'm here for it. Like,
but it would be like someone like Kim Kardashian's sister.
And Perrin would look like the real strong guy from Jersey Shore.
I take offense to that. No. There is nothing Jersey Shore about Perrin Ibarra, and there is nothing Kardashian about Fael. There is nothing Kardashian about Fael.
Hold on. Whoa. I'll challenge you on that. So why are they building that big ass manor that doesn't even have a thatched roof?
Because
the one that's bigger than the wine spring.
Because when you're the lord of something, you need to embody that as well.
And that's Fael's idea.
No,
that's Fael. That wasn't Perrin.
That's not Fael's idea.
Zenobia and Berylane both in the Kardashians' court.
I can picture Berylane. No, not even.
That's your opinion, and you could be wrong in it, just like everybody else.
You 100%. Tom and I will die on this hill. Yeah. We will die on this hill.
The Kardashians are very fake. They're not. They don't care about anything.
Everything about the Kardashians is fake. Everything.
Fael and Berylane are two of the most selfless characters in the series.
Who?
Fael and Berylane. They care. Yeah, they care more about their 100%. People. They care more about their people than anybody.
I can get behind that.
They're also extremely manipulative.
Yeah. So.
And and manipulative for their own personal gain.
No, that's not true.
I don't buy that, Jay.
No. Describe one scene where Berylane is doing something for her personal gain.
To get Perrin.
Get Perrin. Every time she's in Perrin's thing and rubs her nipples on him.
You guys apparently did not freaking read the slog. Because when Fael is taken, Berylane grounds Perrin and makes Perrin realize that he has got to get his shit together. And she uses the fact that rumors are going to fuel people to be pissed off at Perrin to get Perrin off of his fucking ass.
Nope. If Perrin had broke down at all, she would have boned him.
Without Galad, without the existence
straight up,
Berylane would have gone to her grave.
No, she would not. No, she would not, because she said, because there are times in Perrin's POV where he says that her scent had changed. He no longer felt or smelled like the perfumey whatever of Berelain, and it was just a consistent thing. That changed before she met Galad. When she realized how much he loved Fael, and he was going to break without Fael, and she saw that his armies were not going to function without Perrin, her plan changed, and she became a ruler and a helpmate to Perrin in a surrogate role until he could keep his shit together until he got his wife back. And I will die on that hill.
It still doesn't change Berelain's scruples, and Berelain's scruples still suggest that she would do something that a Kardashian would do, and that is take someone else.
So would Rand, so would Suman, so would Moraine. Like you can make that argument about any of the female characters, the male characters.
I totally could.
Yeah, but if you can make an argument for 100% of people,
he almost made me spit my drink out.
That's a loose argument. I mean, they are when you get to the heart of them and the heart of the Kardashians, those characters are selfless characters that only want to help their people. Do they do it in manipulative and kind of slimy ways? Absolutely, but they're not doing it for themselves.
So
Tom, Ryan. If Kanye could have smelled Kim's emotions, they'd still be married.
What does that have to do with anything?
All right, go on, Ryan.
So no, Tom. Like when Fael tried to attack Berelain in the hallways, right, with her knife, she tried to literally stab her for like looking at her husband.
But let's also look at that. Let's look at the
for her people? No, hold on, guys. So they literally had a cat fight over Perrin, where they almost started stabbing each other. Ruark had to come in and stop it.
It was for her people.
For her people.
Yes.
No, are you kidding me? She was so jealous.
She was jealous.
Perrin would have smelt resolute.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. So instead of let's not talk over each other constantly.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
But her marriage to Perrin secures a literal direct connection to the Dragon Reborn. That's not like, I love this guy and I really want to be with him. But, I mean, she did, but her marriage to Perrin is way more than just, I'm marrying this guy because I love him. That is a literal direct connection to the Dragon Reborn. He's literally raised the flag of Manetheren in the Two Rivers. People are following him. He's a leader in Tarmangaideen. Like, he's a wolf brother. Like, there's way more than just
she fought and did a couple of slimy things to get a very powerful individual who has within fame. That sounds like a Kardashian to me.
No, when you look when you look at Berelain first approached Rand in the beginning of Shadow Rising, and she's trying to secure her nation's.
She literally says that.
She's trying to secure her nation's independence and her nation's, what's the word I'm looking for? Not longevity, but you know what I mean? Like survival. So when Rand turns her away, and then she's legitimately afraid of Rand because
she also
of mirror image, right?
He's going to go insane one day, so she has that thought. Like,
so then she literally sees Perrin. Perrin is the next person she sees after Rand turns her away, and she's like, "Oh, that's somebody who's attached to the Dragon Reborn. If I can't have the Dragon Reborn, I'm going to go after somebody who's super close with him." Her desires are not for herself. Her desires are to secure the independence and the safety of her country.
Yes, a very
She's
surface
not
level
doing it
reading.
Selfishly. She is doing it to get in to ensure that the survivability of Mayenne is intact. That is not a Kardashian, and she does Kardashian-esque things, but she is not a Kardashian.
And
plain and simple.
She uses her body and sex as a weapon.
And she's naturally gorgeous.
Yeah. There's no fillers on that.
And all Perrin had to do was say yes. That's all he had to do.
Because he already had Fael and he loved Fael.
That's all he had to do was just say, all right, Berelain.
Okay,
or
get
whatever.
back on topic. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, let's get it. So we do acknowledge that Matt had with the red band. He had that was his gig. Perrin attracted all kinds of groups though. So let's jump into the societies that surrounded themselves around Perrin.
You mean an entire World of Wolves?
Yeah, entire World of Wolves, yeah, and but he also had a few Aiel with him. That's something that definitely didn't have. It's a huge difference. He had a couple of wise ones with him. I think he had 3. He had 3 wise ones with him.
Yeah,
and he had the Aes Sedai that were sworn to Rand. And he actually got them to do things. He commanded them where pretty much no man commanded Aes Sedai to do anything.
During Dumai's Wells, he commanded the Maieners. He commanded the Two Rivers Men. He commanded the Kyrian. He commanded and the Tyrant. He was the chief battle lord, pretty much there.
And and it's funny that you mentioned those things because that's another difference with how he amassed followers in a society that Matt did. People came to Matt. Perrin rescued a lot of his. So they, instantly had to look at him as someone who was a savior, someone who was more of a father figure, but a leader and someone who could take care of them. More than anything, it said a lot of times, he was someone who fed his people because people would come to him for just food, not, because people were starving. So he would bring on mercenaries to join his band or join his army just for food rations. And if you can imagine what it's like for someone to be that hungry and to look to someone to lead them just to eat, that's some powerful loyalty.
Well, let me ask you, who had the bigger influence on the change in the Two Rivers folk? Was it Perrin or was it Lord Luke? Lord Luke kind of built the balustrades.
Good point, Dan. Yeah.
I mean, Perrin certainly improved upon what was going on, but he came in mid battlements, kind of. When they were. I don't know. I think Lord Luke kind of had. Didn't have a totally negative effect on the Two Rivers.
No,
but that's a. I don't know.
But I think
a hot take.
I think Luke was trying to. Everything that Luke did was just trying to set them up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like when you create the problem and then make a fake solution to the problem, that's not really helping.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, and you also have to remember that the refugees were coming in droves when Luke was there, and when by that time when Perrin gets back to the Two Rivers, there were already like refugees who were coming in, and all of these changes that had happened just in the year and a half since he had been gone, and Luke was taking advantage of a chaotic situation to try to interject some form. Oh my God, Tom, your cat's tail just scared the shit out of me.
So awesome.
Corner of my eye.
Getting up and going
Fuck you, Lanfear. Fuck you, Lanfear.
His name?
Anyway, yes, this is cat's name is Lanfear.
No way.
But anyway, so the entire thing about
the daughter of night.
Luke was taking advantage of chaos, and Perrin in every way, shape, and form is the antithesis of Luke. In every way, shape, and form. He is solidarity. He is consistency. He is... so Luke was just giving them marginal advice to make it seem like he'd be worth keeping around, right? But ultimately, he didn't want the Two Rivers to be secure. Yeah. Right, he was sowing chaos.
He was purposefully mishandling the refugees. He was allowing the White Cloaks access. He was literally helping the Trollocs in on
the outskirts farms. But I thought your point's well taken.
I think that the moment Perrin met Luke, and I believe that was right when he was on his way to see where the Luhans were getting.
You're right, at a farm,
White
right?
Cloaks, when they were held by the White Cloaks. Yep.
I think that the speech that Perrin made to the Elsines at the Elsine farm, I think when he made that speech to Jack Elsine's family, I think that is what started everything in the Tavern.
100% agree.
I think that was the Tavern at work that started the movement to Emmons Field. I think
that's what VEREN told him as well, right?
Yeah,
VEREN's like, I could have said this stuff till I was blue in the face. They wouldn't listen to me.
Yep. And the other thing about the three Tavern is Perrin is the most selfless. Absolutely 100% the most selfless.
Yeah.
Of all three of them. Matt was very selfish, for sure. Like
the only push I would give on that is Perrin would throw away the store for Fayo. And he says it.
Well, that's true. Yeah, there's that.
Man would have died regardless.
No, you're right. I take it back.
Why Perrin wasn't the Dragon Reborn?
I retract my statement.
But that's why Perrin wasn't the Dragon Reborn. That type of person is the person that values love and that type of honor above all else is a great leader. But they're not the leader that you need making decisions in the last battle.
Perrin's the best friend. Yeah. Perrin is the ultimate best friend, right?
He's a little too fluffy for it, is the problem.
Like, if you remember when he is in, I can't remember, what book is it in the prologue when the manor had been built and Fael has her point of view about like having to deal with Days Conger, who's the wisdom now, and the other two wisdoms come in and she's like,
my girl Days,
doing this, doing that. And she goes up to Perrin. And she's like, and Perrin's like, I feel him calling to me. I need to go to him. Yeah. And she's like, I know. Like, Perrin is the consummate best friend. Like, he is the person you want in your corner, hands down.
Absolutely.
100%, right?
His amalgam in mythology is Thor, but also a lot of the Slavic god of thunder. He's more like Perun,
right.
Yeah, Perrin. Like a lot of Perrin, but also like a lot of his story comes from there too, which was why for years
I didn't know that.
For years and years and years, people were like, "When's Perrin going to get his leg chopped off? When's Perrin going to get his leg chopped off?" Because that happens. Which
Perrin
was why,
did the leg chopping, guys.
But he got the arrow in the knee, so that was the kind of homage to that.
The other thing I was going to say is that Perrin also got more gaze.
He did, exactly.
Perrin got more gaze, and because his character resonated with more gaze, he also got the White Cloaks.
Yep.
He also got the people who he was embattled against personally since book 1.
Yeah, that was the start of his problems was the White Cloaks, and it came full circle with them judging him honorable and worthy.
Yep.
Literally,
and that had a lot to do with Galad too.
But I mean, he was the White Cloaks at that point. Yeah. But the Morgaze also is Morgaze is another perfect example of the type of leader Perrin would be. Super altruistic, helping the downtrodden, like always helping the least among them, which is also the wolf thing to do. The idea, so like something that Robert Jordan knew because he actually did research on wolves. But a very common misconstrued fact is that there's alpha wolves in that nonsense. That doesn't exist. And Robert Jordan knew that, which is why you never see that term used ever. And but the leaders of the pack, there was always multiple leaders, a male and a female, Dapple and Burn, or Dapple and Hopper. And the they always helped the wolves, and the wolves of those packs always helped the weakest among them first. The weakest among them always eat first. The weakest among and that's the type of leader Perrin was. He's just a little too fluffy to, make the battlefield decisions that Tarmon Gaiden's going to require.
That's the other thing, though. He was too fluffy, but what was he doing during Tarmon Gaiden? He was best friending Rand.
Yeah, that's
true.
Can we
talk about, would he have been, what kind of leader, what kind of leader would Perrin have been without Fael?
Good question, Ryan. I mean, half of his society, not half, but a part of his society, I would say is directly attributed to her influence.
What kind of leader would Rand have been without Min? What kind of leader would Mat been without Talmains?
I think that's a good point. But also, they're not literally trying to train him up and say, "Hey, go sit and hear your supplicants." Like they're like
if there was no Fael, it would have been Berylane. If there was no Fael, it would have been Berylane.
Would Perrin have been happier with Berylane?
It wouldn't have been. Would he have known? But would he have known any different if there was no Fael?
Well, there would be no Two Rivers coalition at all without Fael. Yeah, there would be no Two Rivers men. There would be maybe Edmund's Field guy, but she's the one who brought everyone into the fold, and that's what started Perrin's wolf army.
100%. But the question you're asking is, would Perrin be who he was without Fael?
No. I'm saying, what kind of leader would he be? He would have been a warrior. He would have been a great friend.
He still would have been a successful leader because he would have had Berylane. It would not have ended in the same way. He might.
So he needed some chick, Ryan. He needed some chick.
He would have been a successful because he had Tam.
But
that's a good point.
Two Rivers. He might not have gone back to the Two Rivers if he didn't have Fael. No. Because when you think about his desire to go back to the Two Rivers, it was all based on rumors that they were hearing in Tyr in the beginning of the Shadow Rising. And Fael freaking tricked Loyal, right? Into taking her into the ways because he did not want Fael with him. He would not want to take. He would not have taken Fael. He was perfectly willing to go with Loyal through the ways on his own, and Fael manipulated Loyal, and Loyal was pissed. Yeah, he was so angry about that.
So many quivering ears,
and so Perrin was willing to leave Fael behind. He was willing to leave her. So he still would have gone back to the Two Rivers without her, but Fael, but it was again the pattern, right? Like he's ta'veren, he can't control his destiny. The pattern is going to control his destiny. So the pattern's like, Fael, we need you. Yeah. We need your savvy. We need your political astuteness, and so the pattern arranged to happen.
I think that brings us back to the point of the topic really well, which is the Tavernness of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one thing that isn't really talked about very much, but is an important factor, especially with the Tavern, is that Tavernness, like to be a Tavern, ebbs and flows. It comes and goes for everybody, including Rand, Mat, and Perrin throughout the entire series. Yeah. And the pattern itself is what put Fael there, like Beth said, and it would have found somebody else to put there. Fael was just the best suited person for it. But the idea is that wherever Perrin needed to be and whatever Perrin needed to do to make the things happen, the pattern would have created to do, which is a little cheap in some ways for a story,
like a trope. Yeah.
Well, it's not just tropey. It's like, oh well, then you're saying that the good thing would happen regardless of what anyone did, so then why read the book? But not really, because we also know that they fail sometimes, so you don't really know how it's going to turn out, I guess.
I don't know how you guys, if you agree. I would say that Perrin's community held the most straight out ride or die cats. I think he had the most committed loyalty.
In sheer numbers, it would be Rand with the Aiel.
Well, besides the maidens. I mean, that let's put an asterisk beside the maidens.
That's the biggest.
I mean,
that's a big asterisk.
Well, no, let's just do that asterisk. But I mean, I think Perrin. So Perrin had the wolves. Perrin had the two rivers guys for sure. He had Gaul. I don't know if he had Banshad, but he had Gaul.
Yeah.
He had Loyal. It seems Loyal was with him.
gathered for him.
Yeah, but I would also,
right.
I would say Perrin had the hardest time keeping his people together. He had to do the most picking than anybody else. He had to, he had to be a liaison between all of the different factions in his group. Matt didn't have to. All Matt had to do was say a speech, and everybody would just not.
Yeah. Oh, drink check.
Yes, Lord Matt.
I'm mixing vodka and Truly, you guys. I mean, just saying.
He had to make sure the wise ones were happy. He had to make sure that Queen Alejandro's people were happy. He had to make sure that his own people were happy.
Absolutely.
And fed. So he had to be, he had to be more of a figure, more of a ruling kind of guy, and which is great because he was, Fail was grooming him to be a noble. She was grooming him.
She was grooming him. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. And because she was what he needed to have those people follow him. And
she filled in the blanks that he needed filled in.
Exactly. And the thing is, though, he kind of he developed this this, what's the word I'm looking for? He pulled multiple nations together, multiple factions together, but they weren't autonomous. They weren't reliant on him to lead themselves, which was essential considering in the fact the last battle, he was unavailable. He was not there. He was not issuing orders. Galad and all of the people who were following Perrin fell in line with their respective national leaders because they had enough experience and knowledge to run battles. They didn't need Perrin to give them orders. He was their figurehead, but they were not autonomous to him, right? They weren't dependent on him and reliant on him.
That's another good point because it was different than Matt's. Perrin also, because you were saying they had more experience. Perrin's, his group of people had higher status in the world.
Right.
Than Matt's. He had queens and,
he had
every man's man until he, except his wife. Right. I mean, but who needs two on? I mean,
his people had high status. Matt's people, not so much.
Well,
I mean, he had.
To your point, Jansen. So Matt, essentially, if we look at the Red Band, they were hired. They were paid a wage, and they loved Matt mostly because he was fucking awesome and never lost, and would sing songs about how lucky he is. And dance with the Jack of Shadows. I mean, they just love fucking winning and getting paid.
Yeah.
So, can I ask a question just very quickly to see if this threw you off for any of you guys in rereads? Because of course, I didn't really correlate A plus B until much later. So, in the first 3 books, there are several instances where Matt, before he goes through the Twisted Door frame, where he is experiencing being able to speak in the old tongue, and even in the dragon in Eye of the World, right, when he's saying on Kaldazar, and then all of this stuff, right, and he actually has a memory of Aes Sedai in the Dragon Reborn. He remembers, I don't know if it was a past life or what, but that being said, did it throw anybody else for a loop that it was Perrin who unified Manetheren instead of Matt? Because based on Matt's ability to speak in the old tongue, clearly steeped in being a descendant of Manetheren, and it's ultimately Perrin who unifies and raises the flag of Manetheren. That really threw me for, and I'm still trying, I still try to wrap my head around that, because why isn't Perrin having those kind of moments of the old tongue? And because it was even before, I understand where Matt gets his memories from, right? With the Aelfin and the Ilfin, I get all that, but his tie to Manetheren from his bloodline seems so much stronger than Perrin's in the earlier books.
And Egwene was like,
she could almost understand it. She could almost understand that, right? So I just found it really strange that it was Perrin who ends up raising the flag of Manetheren and not Mat. Although the red band was like the red eagle of Manetheren. So it's it's tied to it, but it was Perrin who was flying the red eagle flag in the Two Rivers and the wolf flag. So like that's
to add to that, Perrin has no family left in the Two Rivers.
He has a cousin. Do you remember
too soon?
Okay, well,
too soon.
Cousin Jay.
19 graves.
Yeah, no, but
do you remember that though? He does have a cousin when they're doing the battle of the Two Rivers, and he's like, "What's your name, lad?" And he's like, "I can't remember. It's something Abara." And he's like, "I think I'm your cousin." Right?
Crazy. Yeah.
Anyway,
I definitely.
I think he's lying.
I definitely thought it was weird. Like he's catfishing Perrin. I definitely thought it was weird, like, you know, that it wasn't, that Mat didn't have something to do with it, like a little bit. But then, like, when you think about Mat's not a king. He's not like he's not going to do that. Like that's just not his.
Sure,
it's not his gig. You know what I mean? But though it would totally have made more sense for Mat to have been that role.
How they prefaced it. Yeah.
I like that they did not, though. I like the way it went. I like that Perrin is the reluctant Lord of the Two Rivers.
I agree.
But to your point, Beth, I would have preferred if he knew a little old song here and there. I would have loved it, but it's all right.
What's crazy about that is, on the show, they're giving Mat way more of a reason to go back than Perrin.
Ooh,
so that's
the family backstory.
Why not? Yeah.
Honestly, I would give. I'm going to give everything that happened with Mat in season 1 kind of like a pass until they have a chance to build it up in season 2. Only because they had to like do so much recutting and rewriting because of Barney Harris that Mat's storyline is all fucked up.
Hey Tom,
wait,
Dan. Hey Tom, what happened to Barney Harris? Tell us.
Yeah,
we don't know.
Come on, Ted. Come on.
He's been announced in a new project, though.
Yeah, is he?
Tom.
Really? I didn't know.
His IMDb was updated.
No, Tom.
Come on, Tom. Yeah.
Come on, Tom.
Spill the beans.
Come on, Tom. You got the spotlight.
I mean, like, I assume it's got to be something to do with COVID, but.
But Jansen, you make a really good point that parents' connections have been severed that we know of, while we know that Mat has at least 2 daughters and dysfunctional parents still there. So
sisters.
Or sisters.
Sisters. You never know.
No. Hey. How backwards are we going?
Yeah, it's they, them. So we don't know what's going to happen. But to your point, Perrin has no reason to go back. Why would he? It would just bring pain. Yeah.
Go back to the house you murdered your wife in.
Yeah.
Bummer. Gross. Big bummer.
That's wrong on so many levels.
Down, so don't worry about it.
I can easily see Mat going back to save the Two Rivers.
All right, Beth, you are forgiven this one time, but yes, this is blatant self-promotion. By the way, everyone, Beth Doma on Twitch, she's on there like 3 or 4 times a week, tearing it up, and she just made the playoffs. To something else.
I did.
Something else.
I made it to an invitational. We'll talk about that before we go away. Let's have this conversation. It's amazing.
Oh, and gosh darn it, MaTsDaGgerX!
You know what we need? You know what we need? We need a Bella moment for MaTsDaGger.
Bring it.
I agree. Techno Bella.
Oh, techno. It's physical old school.
Is that?
All right, here it goes.
Bella!
pathetic, Dan.
I love it.
I can go Bella longer than any of y'all can.
That's a 19-second Bella I just did on that.
I can do a 48-second Bella.
Well done.
A 48-second Bella?
At least. Yep.
All right,
Whoa.
we need a recording of that.
I think this one's at least 35 seconds. Yeah.
WotCon. We'll do it.
I'm going to do a 48-second Bella for you.
MJ Daniel. All right. Hey, everyone.
Not now, but WotCon. 48-second Bella.
That's Twitch. Well done, MaTsDaGger. We missed you, man. This is what we need. We need the man with all the links and stuff, right?
I have personalized emotes on Twitch now, you guys. They are freaking amazing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is that what's going on?
They are.
MaTsDaGger, are you starting an OnlyFans with that blue heart?
Nice.
All right.
Nice. So, all right. So we have Matt, we have Perrin, and we have Rand. Rand, I would say, developed the most reluctant group around him with the asterisks of Ruark as the wise ones and all the maidens.
And the rest of the idol.
Rand, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can.
But even that is somewhat reluctant, and there was like 1,000 to 2,000 still going to the bleakness while he was leading them.
Several
per se.
million IEL though.
It was
No, 1,000 to 2,000 a day. I'm sorry.
Rand is also surrounded by enemies as well. Everybody in Rand's court is not as loyal to him as they are to the other two.
Mm-hmm.
No,
except for loyal.
And then the reluctant all the lords and ladies of all of the countries that he forced basically to do the right thing. But that was always going to be a thing, especially because of how he was upending their laws to make it more democratic in the sense that lords couldn't just do whatever they wanted to peasants and get away with it. And he upended that law in every single country he took over.
Right.
We should do an improv where we're 5 Kyrian. As soon as Rand just like splits with all his maidens, all his people through a gateway, and the gateway closes, and it's like, all right, and action. We're like, oh Jesus, fuck! I thought he'd never leave. Oh God, he's killing me.
I get my fan off my wall, and I can't.
They just talk.
Totally
they just talk crap as soon as he walks.
Yeah.
So the other interesting thing that I remember when we talked about doing this, I went and reread some of the Robert Jordan interviews about Tavern specifically, and he actually said that none of the 3 boys were Tavern prior to Moiraine and Lan getting to the Two Rivers.
Is that Dawson's Creek guy, by the way?
It looks like it.
It does a little bit, right?
Except there were no black characters.
What's his name?
Exactly.
So does that make Moiraine?
Oh, that's Pacey. You're talking about what's his name? He was in
That looks like Henry Cavill in the middle.
No, the guy from Dawson's Creek. What's his name?
No, you're talking about James Van. No,
James Vanderbeek. That's James Vanderbeek right there.
That is a sci-fi opera rendition of the Wheel of Time right there.
That's
with Gabrielle Union as the token.
The prompt is Rand al'Thor.
No, let's not
surrounded by magical women in different colored dresses and magical men in black suits.
I'm not here for it.
And here I have him with a flaming sword.
That looks like a romance book cover. That looks like a really hot guy on girl romance book cover.
Yeah.
How is she holding this flame, and why is the flame on the hilt and not on the right here?
It is symbolizing the feeling she has for both of these men, and both of these men are into each other as well as her. This is totally
it's a dildo.
A polyamorous. Here for that right now.
I think it's symbolizing that she touches a lot of burning sticks.
Yes.
Wait, so this older man looks like he's holding this woman hostage.
He's not older. He does not. She's willful.
No.
She is willfully submissive.
Okay. I'm
enthusiastically consented because she's holding the flaming sword at the same time. There is enthusiastic consent there. That is, enthusiastic consent. What am I looking at? What the fuck
I'm not sure.
What does that say?
It's the Brady Bunch.
Nothing makes sense. This is the world of AI. Like, get used to it. This is AI. AI is going to change the world and make us all dumber.
Oh God.
Right? I love Jensen's face. Oh my God. And then I go down and Jensen's like, what the fuck?
Jensen looks like my dog when I make a weird sound. He's like, what?
He's like, what? What is happening?
Look there's a lightsaber.
All right, so who are all these women?
Let's not go here, guys.
Yeah. Come on. All right, so let's talk about Rand. Rand has the diehards for sure. He has an army of maidens, which would defeat most countries. All countries.
Rand has the most, I would say, input from the people he follows, right? Like he is. You know what I'm saying? Like they influence him. I almost want to say more than Matt's people influence Matt and parents. Aside from Fail.
No, I agree. Rand doesn't have any time to himself. Like everything, Rand has literally the only time Rand has to himself is when he goes to sleep, and the only reason that's true is because he wards his dreams.
Right.
Well, he also has a lot of alone time in that box.
Oh shit! Oh, no.
Oh, there you go. Own it, Tom. Own it, Tom.
I just called Alexa sees it.
That is the hottest take we've had all year.
Long time.
Own it. He's like, no, he had plenty.
He should have come out like a Bodhisattva from that box.
That's Aaron Rodgers was.
Listen, all I'm saying is if he went Buddha a little earlier in the series, he would have been fine in the box because he would have just meditated the whole time.
Like, hey, thanks for the peace and quiet.
Yeah,
no.
I'm trying to get you guys to see my dog. She is just being.
Your dog's in the dark. You have a very.
First
off, your lighting is amazing. Direwolf out of the dark.
She does not like the camera.
She doesn't like being up. She doesn't like being held. Like my other dog will like come up and give me hugs. This one is very elusive.
Yeah,
but she's sorry about that. Anyway, let's go.
I can relate.
But for Rand, he has the Kyrian. As soon as he leaves, they say, "Fuck you, Rand. We're electing Kolivir." He has the Andorans, kind of, but everything he has is tenuous in his grouping, except for the Aiel, and I guess Moraine back in the day.
Through no fault of his own, though.
It wasn't as hard as most places. The Council of Nine were pretty okay with Rand.
And most of the issues that he has in those countries are through no fault of his own. Like the idea, the Andorans, even the good Andorans, like the ones that aren't secret dark friends, don't really trust Rand because they think he killed Morgaze and Elena. Yeah, for a long time, and the Kyrenian don't like Rand because he kind of just moved in there, took the throne, and then said he was going to give the throne to an outland member of the royal family from Camelin who should be the king of Camelin. So
he does not manage well. He did not manage the White Tower or the Black Tower well. He did not manage Andor well at all. He's like, hey, no, you guys, I'm in charge, but I'm not in charge. I'm going to leave. Same with Tyr. But Tyr, he at least administrated to have barges of grain sent down. He took care of the people there. But Kyrian, he's like, you guys cool? All right, bye.
He didn't do a bad job in Tyr because he put Darlin Cisnera in charge, and Darlin Cisnera was not a fan of Rand's. Darlin was openly.
He went to head and
he was rebelling against Rand and had.
He's a poor manager, yeah.
And but he chose Darlin Cisnera because when Cisnera came around, he was like, I'm going to put this guy who doesn't owe me anything in charge because I think he's going to get shit done. I mean, Rand was definitely the most flawed of all three of the Tavern, right?
Keep in mind, the prophecy said that he was supposed to
break and build nations. He was going to do both. And
you got to tear it down before you can build it up.
What is the name?
Wayne said the chaos of his passing.
What is the name of the okay, so in The Great Hunt, when they go to Barthanes' manor, because Pat and Fane had been there when they were going to try to use the Waygate to go to follow Fane to
where they see Tom, right?
Where he sees Tom.
Okay.
And he is like confronted by three women. And what is the female who ends up being Basil Gill's Stablehand's girlfriend? She was one of the women who came on to Rand in The Great Hunt, and I cannot remember her name right now to save the life of me.
Wow. Okay. Come on, Jansen.
Lambgren and
She is one of Talmonis's relatives. They have the same last name, I believe, right?
No,
it's not Talmonis. Who ends up being Rand's kind of like regent in Cairhien? The person who Dobrain Taborwin. Yes, her last name is Brienne Taborwin. Brienne Taborwin. They were the same person. She totally came on to Rand in The Great Hunt and then ends up becoming one of Morghase's companions, i.e. ends up becoming one of Perrin's inner circle, because it's like everything just comes like
it's Lambgwen's girlfriend,
Lambgwen's girlfriend, Brienne Taborwin, right? It just blows my mind at like all the crossover of like these different people, and Aludra, right? Like think about Aludra when like Aludra's touched by the Tavern so many times in this series. She first is indirectly tied to Rand by him using the chapter house of the Illuminators as an escape point when he's trying to get away from the Trollocs in Cairhien, right? And then that ends up burning to the ground. So she's fleeing from Tammuz and all of those other guys. And Mat comes across her in a random barn. Right? She gives him the fireworks, and he uses to break the hole into the Stone of Tyr to rescue Nynaeve, Egwene, and Elaine. I mean, just the crossovers of the minor characters, right?
Mat will sleep with Aludra on the show.
No, he misses her. I agree 100%. Hard agree.
Let's talk about their sex lives. In the books, Mat is the only Tavern who bangs anyone besides. Like
their wife or his spouse.
Yeah, like he's had sex with more than one person.
Yeah, well, that's because
not true at all.
No. It's outside of the marriage. Yeah.
Oh, Matt's a total slut. Matt is 100% a slut. Like,
wait, so who has he done? Wait, what's his body count?
Who hasn't he done?
What's his body count?
What's his body count? Like we know about the Aiel woman, and we know about two.
Days has a pretty big body count too.
Oh, Morgase, absolutely. Yeah. Sorry, Tom. What were you saying?
4, I think, confirmed. But that's because of Robert Jordan's very kind of puritanical take on sex in the entire series, and especially in the Two Rivers. Like, there's a whole bit about how some Two Rivers girl had, like, they caught them in the hayloft and Nynaeve rushed them off to get married or something like that. It was like,
do they have sex? Do they have like a hole in the sheet and then have sex through the hole?
That's what it felt like. That's
the Two Rivers, right? Yeah.
You imagine like a cop catches like a couple in a car and they're like, "You guys married? All right, follow me. We're going to the courthouse."
No, not that far away from it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Jail or the courthouse.
The scenes with Tylan and Ned are going to be funny too.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I hope they cut that entire thing out.
I do too.
Yeah, it's way too wish fulfillment-y and it's way too problematic with the consent and the way it's handled. Yeah. I hope they kind of cut that out.
I mean, I think it was fun to write. I think it was, for Robert Jordan. I think he did it on purpose. I think he was just kind of, just kind of expressing certain things onto the page.
Man. He had a lot of little issues going on there, and that shows one of them. And the amount of spankings that happened throughout the entire series shows the other one.
Yeah.
But no, I really hope they don't include that, or at least it's done way better than it was in the book. Like it's handled way better than it was in the book.
Yeah, I think Matt's going to sleep with a lot of people in the show.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there was sex in the first 30 seconds of the episode.
Yeah.
So, what major society did Rand gather besides the IEL that
all the countries that
he could reliably rely on?
Not really any. Oh well, no. I think that he could rely on the Sea Folk. Actually, they never betrayed
the Sea Folk. Once he made the deal,
they never betrayed him in any way. And
was he down with the Borderlanders at all?
Oh yeah, Davron Bashir, the Saldaeans.
But you remember that the Borderlanders, especially, I believe it was King Pytar, they had. The prophecy for them that was passed down in his family by a Aes Sedai for years about what was the guy's name? What was the what was his name? Carousel?
Who are we talking about?
Remember when Rand had to go to talk to all the Borderland kings and queens.
Right, he went for the meeting with the Borderlanders. Okay.
And remember, he had to remember the name. I believe the last name was Terrio of the character that was killed.
I don't remember.
He had to remember a name, and if he couldn't remember that name, they were going to kill him.
Yes, and that was because of the prophecy that the one Lord had passed down through his family, right? Yeah. If he doesn't remember this name, then he's like, basically it was like he's too far gone. Like he's not.
And they had. That's why the whole reason why they ended up going to Farmatting. At least some of them didn't know about
it.
It's a puppy. Hello, puppy. We can't. You're muted, Beth. There you go. I got you. You're good now. Oh no, she's not. Okay.
Ew.
We'll get it. She might not.
So when we look at these communities, I do think that Perrin, in my eyes, had like the most intimate, or maybe not the most intimate, but the most ride or dies, I call them. Matt may have had the most intimate relationship with his group because he was out drinking and gambling with them like all the time. And Rand was the Elon Musk who comes in and walks in and goes, "You're not doing it right. Do better. Bye."
He was more like, except Elon Musk is actually bad at his job.
Walking around the toilet.
He's more.
A sink, right? A sink.
Oh,
he's more like General. I would say he's more like General George Washington, where he was like, he's not down. He's not the leader that's down in with the men. He's the leader that's overseeing everything.
Because you also remember that's the whole point of it for Rand. Rand wanted to save everyone. He wanted to do it all himself, and it wasn't until the very end where he listened to his father and he had to let.
Yeah, he realized that they all need to sacrifice for you, and you got to allow them to die for you. For real. Yeah, that's amazing.
So one other thing I want to ask you guys, and this is off topic, but so I have a theory that Karri Ford was a dark friend.
A dark friend?
False.
All right, no. Go ahead and lay out your evidence.
Here's my evidence. First of all, the big evidence is that the pattern killed her before she could help raise Rand. That's the first thing.
Shit!
Second thing is when Balsamon brought her. When Balsamon brought
Beth
her
needs
back,
another drink, I think.
people that Balsamon brought into Rand's visions, the only people that did up until that point were people that were dark friends. And
no.
Full control.
You know,
soul.
Tam Althor never met her parents. Apparently, she was disowned for marrying a soldier, and they left. So we don't know her background much.
My theory is that she was a dark friend who was supposed to kill Rand as a baby and refused.
But that would mean that the Dark One has known where Rand was the entire time.
Fact, and I disagree with that 100%.
Yeah, they don't. Well, we know they did. We know that he didn't. So,
like, why would the pattern kill her and take her away?
I mean, because Rand wasn't necessarily Tavern.
He wasn't. He was Rand
when he was a
Tavern.
baby.
Rand was not Tavern when he was a baby.
At the end of the books, specifically, the reason why he was as good of a person that he was to this point was because he was raised better. And he was raised solely by Tam, not Karri.
But that doesn't mean that, but he has loving memories of his mother.
Yeah.
He has loving memories of
her smile. Yeah.
I understand.
Maybe she was just showing her teeth like a dog. Well, but Tom, let me challenge that. So,
thank you, Breaker. Sometimes shit happens. What Breaker said.
Yes. Tam is a high up in his military unit. He leaves the heat of battle, which a lot of people would call an offense that you would get shot for in World War I. Okay. He leaves his people. He leaves to go up the mountain. Why? Is it because, and he comes across his baby? To me, this is obviously Tavern. Obviously Tavern. He was Rand must have been Tavern in utero, or at least as soon as he was born. No, in utero, because he wouldn't have been there to save him.
So Robert Jordan said Rand wasn't Tavern prior to Morgan getting to the.
That makes sense.
See, I hate that. I hate that stuff.
But also,
hey, he said it. Hey, no, he said it.
No,
I hate it.
That means the pattern is more.
It's not in the books, though.
But to your points, Tam didn't leave his position to go up the mountain. He was fighting Aiel, and they chased them up the mountain. Your argument is a great argument for
Wait,
what is it? What does it say in the text?
The text says that Tam went up there because he couldn't stand.
Because he's in the stench of blood.
The heat of battle. Heat of battle.
Yeah, but he didn't travel 1,000 miles. He walked, a few feet from wherever they were fighting. He didn't leave.
I agree with that.
He was. It's never said ever that's a fabrication that he went AWOL to get Rand like that. That's never said.
That's the impression I've always had.
Here's my other argument.
That's okay, but that's not in the books either. But what does happen in the books, your argument is a great argument for either Tam or Tigraine possibly being Tavern.
But why wouldn't the Dragon Reborn be? It's the Dragon Reborn. So why wouldn't everything? Why wouldn't the pattern surround itself around this zygote, this fetus, and then this infant?
Because that's not how it works.
Why did Tigraine? Yeah, I think all this stuff was pulled. Honestly.
My other argument is this.
Or predetermination.
Just about in all of the Wheel of Time, even Lord Ituraldo got rewarded somehow, some way by the pattern in these books. Why was Tam not rewarded, and why was his wife taken away?
I don't think anyone is really the pattern doesn't have like a thought process.
No,
the pattern just has a seeking balance.
But the wheel has a will.
Yeah, so seeking balance.
I like to think so.
Like, because we saw so many things happen to the great captains, but Lord Ituralda had the worst of it happen to him. He got to live and become a king. You know, we saw like other people, and like, you know, of course, all of the main characters ended up becoming kings and queens. But
So was Egwene punished then?
Egwene,
By dying?
By dying at age 19?
Egwene's story arc was that she showed she was a true Aiel.
But she didn't get to live, is what I'm saying. Like, if the argument is you got to live after the last battle and he was a king, she was killed at age 19. Like,
yeah, she was killed at age 19, but she also saved the world. And in a way, she made Balefire her prisoner.
No, but also she was able to fucking magically talk to Rand after her death, which is so weird.
But I mean, she, you know, what's the ultimate thing that you can do?
What does that even mean?
She's
like,
a hero of the
even
horn.
dead? Like, is she hero of the horn? Like, how is she talking to Rand like that?
So that gets back to the Tavernness of the main characters, which is something that I wanted to bring up. Was I have a theory that I've harbored since like book 4 or 5 is that they're all heroes of the horn, including Egwene and Moiraine and Lan and Mat and Perrin and Nynaeve, all of them.
Now, are they heroes of are they heroes of the horn that are being reborn, or are they about to be heroes?
Yes,
they graduated to hero, right?
I think some of them were prior and some of them are new.
Oh, good point. So who's prior? Like Egwene?
Question.
I can see Lan being a prior hero.
Well, when Matt asked that question, was he one of you in the end? And I believe he asked it to what's his name, Eagle Eye. Whatever his name. No. When he asked,
Rogosh Eagle Eye,
Rogosh Eagle Eye, if he was what I believe that Rogosh Eagle Eye lied to Matt just to play a joke on him.
Probably, yeah.
Because if Jane Farstrider can make it into as one of the hero of the horn, and this will be the first time he's made it, right? So if his accomplishments were pretty much just traveling places, other than, you know, that one big defeat to Lane, and he made it because he was such a notable individual, then heck yeah, all of them had to become. That's when
I love this idea so much that they are all heroes, because that would make so much sense about why they were familiar with each other when they were like speaking. Like when Matt blew the horn and they came out, there was like a familiarity with them. Like they're like, oh yeah, Rand with his
it was like a little high school reunion.
Yeah, but also it explained why like the people who are not there, the people who I think are connected to history, Egwene being the descendant of that one,
the Queen Eleanor.
Yeah, whatever her name is, who burned herself out in the Two Rivers. Like that's a clear like corollary. Like, who else do you think is a clear corollary in the past, Tom?
Well, I was going to ask actually what Beth, what do you think about the hero of the horn bit?
And you're unmuted.
All right. Can she still not? Oh, no, there she is.
So I think I disagree that they're all heroes of the horn. Matt is not a hero of the horn because in the in the Great Hunt, he's too, or I can't remember, he's too unpredictable to be a hero. He's too unpredictable to be a hero. I don't think Matt's a hero. I mean, maybe Egwene is, but
well, they do refer to Matt as the son of battles. They're like, play us in, play the horn, son of battles.
I mean,
They call Perrin the Bannerman too, and like he's only a Bannerman in that scene, I feel like.
That's also in the Koreathon cycle. It's in the prophecies of the dragon. So,
well, if you consider what you have to do to become a hero of the horn, like feats.
Wouldn't that suck if Perrin has this great thing with wolves, he's a lord, and he's a hero of the horn, and he just carries a banner. They're like, hey, you're the Bannerman.
Bannermen are badasses. You remember that Bannerman?
That was a badass banner. You're right.
That was a badass.
You remember that one guy that, like, his whole family died or whatever, but he was like a freaking crazy person or whatever. Yeah, the Bannermen have to be the the most badass of badasses because they got to ride at the front of the troops with no weapon and not fighting to direct the fight. Like you have to follow that banner. That's the point of the
worst job in the business.
Yeah, you got to be crazy and brave, or maybe more of one than the other.
or just an Ashaman who creates a dome of air and puts a banner up really high at the top of the dome. Just
floats away up there.
Yeah.
Hey, forget the X. Take the banner.
Holy shit! Any last words? Like anyone have anything that's kind of like summarizes what we've been talking about?
Tavern nature is unpredictable and not really hard, like a hard magic, like a hard system within the Wheel of Time. I think Robert Jordan left it. I think he left it like that on purpose so that we could have these kinds of discussion. When is somebody Tavern? When weren't they Tavern?
And apparently Robert Jordan had said that anyone can be a Tavern at any time if the pattern needs it.
Yep.
Which I try to ignore that and just I try to ignore that and just read what's on the page, I guess.
That is on the page though, and that's the thing that I kind of like about it, because I picture it as like the pattern sees imbalances, kind of like the old school telephone operators, when they would be putting the things in all over the place, they had to do all of the plugs. It's like, oh, something's happening over there, and then I got to pull that one from over here and put it over there, and then and that's the pattern, constantly trying to tip the scales in the right direction. And the dark one just wants to break it all.
So to that end, and I know we're trying to wrap up, but I mean, how many Tavern have we read? I mean, dozens?
Maybe.
What do you think, Jansen?
Are all people who became a hero of the Horn of Tavern?
Isn't it confirmed?
I would assume.
Isn't it confirmed that the ladies were not Tavern? Like it didn't.
So what about
was Brigitte Tavern? When she gets spun out?
I like to think that all heroes are Tavern, but not all Tavern are heroes.
Okay.
I
agree. I can agree.
Like all Sentras are Nissans, but not all Nissans are Sentras.
Exactly.
Beth, what do you think about the Tavern issue? Do you think that we've read score of Tavern nature things in this book that we just don't know are Tavern influenced? Oh, I can't hear you.
I think the pattern is way more complex than we think, because it's not just the threads of the pattern, it's the age lace, it's the layers on top of layers on top of layers. There's Tavern and other realities that are pulling their own threads of the pattern.
Oh shit.
It's way bigger than what we're reading in this small glimpse of the world that Robert Jordan compiled. And
dun, dun, dun.
Shit. So let me. I love this conversation. I don't want to. So in a portal stone is Rand Tavern?
Yes.
Yes.
I always pictured it kind of like there's a main timeline and a main universe, and then the universes as they break off get less and less tangible. Because when Rand is in the Portal Stone world and he goes to that one world where the Trollocs won the Trolloc Wars, and it's the most unlike what's supposed to happen, and it's almost intangible. Like the world itself couldn't stay together, he talked about, and like how everything kind of seemed ethereal and ghosty. So like there are probably hundreds, if not thousands, of alternate universes where there's a different outcome for a lot of the big things. But I think it's less that they're all just as valid as the main one, but as you get further away from the main timeline, they get thinner and thinner and thinner.
So Tom, Egwin was skimming land to go find Nynaeve. She thinks to herself, if I fall, I can create another whatever skimmer or skiff or whatever
platform.
She had a platform, but hers was like a dock or whatever. And she's like, I can make another one, but she said, but who knows where I'd end up if that were to happen. Do you think that if you were to like fall down levels in that world of skimming, that you're actually going to end up in different multiverse timelines?
No one knows.
That's the goal, though.
Yeah, X.
He's still falling.
He's still falling.
I know they talked about how.
Or that Aiel person who died.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, that's got to be the worst.
But she'll starve.
I was gonna say
the Aiel person, but the golem won't starve. The golem's just bored.
Forever. It can't die. It's literally just gonna fall forever.
Golem can't die. Yeah.
He's like, Jesus Christ, what am I doing?
I mean, like, arguably pretty bad. Like, that's pretty bad.
This is dumb.
I really hope nobody makes like a platform and the golem happens to land on it, because you're just gonna
right,
get
yeah. That'll be like, boom, hey.
If there's ever a sequel, it most certainly will.
Yeah, you just have this. You have this literal insane, unkillable creature that just.
And it has like a big old like hermit beard. He's like, I've been falling for 48 years.
That's amazing.
Lanfear's afraid of fireworks.
Speaking of 48 years, this episode's gone a little.
We do have well, thank you, Anthony. I'm glad you're here. If the dragon fails in one world, well, then it will destroy all worlds.
I think if the dragon fails in the main timeline, yes, but I think he's failed in alternate timelines that don't necessarily impact the main one.
He was in one that they all failed. So yeah,
which is why like the Dark One and Ishamael are kind of telling the truth when they say like you went to the Shadow before, but it's kind of also a lie because it wasn't in the main timeline, so it didn't really count.
All right, everyone, let's give Anthony and Jason Hartley the LeafCast hello.
Hi.
What's up? We love new faces, new names. We are wrapping up, but you can always go back and watch, or you can just keep hanging. You are the latest you could possibly be. We are ending the show, Jason. JH, you are
7 p.m. Eastern. Get here 7 p.m. Eastern next week.
We're playing Third Age tonight.
Yes.
Oh, we'll get into that. Yeah, actually, that's a good transition.
Do it now.
Let's talk about what we're up to, and then we're going to say goodnight to everyone.
So Beth and I are going to be playing. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I bumped Beth out. All right, never mind. Oh, what do you want to talk about?
I mean, I'm ready now.
Oh, gosh. All right, fine.
Just it's fine.
Just
Beth and I are going to be playing Third Age, which is a fan-made tabletop board game that's themed after the Wheel of Time. It's a fantastic board game. It's on Tabletop Simulator, so if you have Tabletop Simulator on Steam, you can play it. The game itself is free. I will post a link to the Discord in just 1 second in chat. Also, though, Beth is going to be joining me tomorrow on Dragon Mount for episode 8 of The Last of Us on our rewatch at 9:00.
Best episode.
Yeah, yes, it is a fantastic episode. But also, since we gave away 2 copies of issues 1 and 2 of the Wheel of Time graphic novel a couple of weeks ago, and we gave away issues 3 and 4 as well, but the person who won never responded. So we are giving away issues 3 and 4 again. So Macmillan Books re-released the Wheel of Time graphic novel that was originally released like 12 or 15 years ago. And they were nice enough to give us some copies. So we were going to be giving away issues 3 and 4 of the 6 issues of the Eye of the World graphic novel. So if you follow at Beth Doman, and I'm sure MaTsDaGger will cover this because he's amazing. And
kabam!
There you go. And at DragonMount.com over on Twitch, you'll have a chance to win. The following doesn't cost any money. You don't have to subscribe or anything. Just follow the 2 accounts. And I will pull all of the names of the people that are following both of us. And tomorrow, during the live when we're watching The Last of Us, Beth will get to spin the wheel. The wheel will weave as the wheel wills, and it will pick the winner.
Nice.
I got one more thing to say. So we got to think of some kind of contest because I got an awesome prize for the Way of the Leaf that we have to give to the fan. I've got the entire collection, mint condition. First season, Eye of the World, the entire comic book collection.
Nice.
What?
Yeah,
Right,
Very nice.
Hey, let's talk. I want to win that.
Yeah, no, I think Brother Danimal just won that.
I've got the entire.
Congratulations, brother Danimal.
Hey, thanks, man. Here, I'll send you my info. Thanks.
Yeah, the whole thing from number one, all of them, the whole story, all the art, the whole comic, mint condition, all in fantastic covers. Awesome.
Oh yeah, we'll figure out how we can what kind of thing we can do.
All right, so Jansen, what does your week look like?
Well, in a few hours, actually 6 hours now, I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to Japan.
What?
I've got a gigantic audition there, and I'm going. My whole family's going, so we're going to be going for a whole week. And I've got an audition on Friday in Tokyo for a film by a Academy Award-winning director. It's a documentary film, and I am getting this is my callback for the lead, so I'm really, really excited.
Let's go!
Congratulations! It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And even if you don't get it, I hope you guys enjoyed Japan, man. I've never been there, and I always wanted to go there.
It's a bucket list trip for me, so I'm really excited. My family's gonna have a good time, and we're gonna. This is the first time ever, so I'm excited. It's a lot of fun.
I really, really hope you get some footage of you doing some Japanese karaoke.
They're serious about their karaoke.
I want like 4 a.m. Jansen doing My Way.
Yeah. Send us videos, send us pictures. I want, for real.
I definitely will. It's going to be exciting. I'm really, really looking forward to it. But that being said, I've got to help my wife pack because she does everything. So I need to go for a break.
All right. Yeah. We'll see you, Jansen. Jump out. We're going to talk about next week's show. All right. See you, buddy. All right.
Okay.
So this Sunday,
love you, man.
Yeah, we love you.
Too.
This Sunday, everyone, we have North Harbor Podcast joining us for Tavern Talk next Sunday, and we are going to do an Oxford-style debate. And
I found the North Harbor once.
Once, yeah.
Just once? I'm so sorry.
Majestic.
Today. You didn't let me finish.
That's just wah.
If you're not familiar with those ladies, they do an amazing show, rivaling us in terms of raunch and
no.
innuendo.
I'm sorry.
No, they got us beat, right?
They have us beat by. I've been on their show twice. They have you beat. I promise you.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Well, we are going to start a series. Maybe it's going to be a series. Maybe it won't be. We're going to do some sort of debate style. Very structured, very fun. We're going to bring them on and debate some topics. So let's keep in touch with us on Discord. We're going to put the call out for some topics for debate. We want to hear from you. You help us come up with the topics. We'll bring it to the ladies, and we're going to put on a great show for you. Other than that, we have Tuesday LeafCast. We are doing chapters 13 through something.
13 through something.
Yeah. Josh will be back. We're gonna have a great time. Everyone, we love you, and let's have a great life. We're heading off. Anyone got anything to say?
No, I love you and I'm proud of you. Thanks you all for joining us each and every time you're here. I really appreciate everyone who's on. I honestly do. I don't say that enough. But for you guys to spend your Sunday evenings or afternoons or whatever time zone you're in with us is a thrill, and it's baffling to me, and I love it, and I love you. So thank you always.
All right, yeah. Awesome. Run for your lives.